Hey, this is Kat of Kattalestv, and I am not in Russia. I'm actually in the East Coast, and I'm dealing with another storm. Speaking of storms, there's so much going on in the news right now that it's hard to keep up with. I was going to do a video, I don't know, a couple days ago, and the news just kept eating itself. So I'm just going to go through some of the top news stories today, which is March the 13th. Besides the Stormy Daniels story, we have Rex Tillerson being fired by Donald Trump. The interesting thing about this is, well, there's several interesting things. For one, Rex Tillerson's father died a couple of weeks ago. Number two, he was in Africa and he cut his summit there short because there was so much going on with the North Korea talks that he felt like he had to come back. Number three, he wasn't fired for calling Trump an alleged effing moron. He was fired because Rex Tillerson actually came out against Russia, accusing Russia with the latest chemical warfare attack in the UK. As the story is being developed and we're learning more, it seems that Tillerson came on hard against Putin. There's only a few governments that could actually get away with a chemical attack, be able to carry that weapon, that biological weapon, safely, and actually carry out the crime on another country's soil. I mean, you're dealing with chemical warfare that has to be handled extremely properly because, as we found out, several other people besides the former spy and his daughter were sickened by the chemical attack. So there's over 100 people that might be affected by that. So again, Tillerson came out strongly against Russia, saying that he was concerned about their growing antagonism towards democracy and our way of life, so to speak. And all of a sudden, Tillerson's fired today. Also, his undersecretary was fired as well, Mr. Goldstein. So Trump is cleaning house, so to speak. Also, another person that was fired, I have to look at my notes because there's so much news going on that it's hard to remember everybody's name. John McEntee was fired, and he was a long personal secretary to Trump. He was fired by the White House. Supposedly, Homeland Security is investigating his financial ties. Now, this is very critical because, oh shit, this is what happens when you're dealing with this is a real storm. I've got to fix this now. Oh my God, it's blowing so hard, I have to hurry up. So anyway, let's just say this. John McEntee has been let go in the White House because of his being investigated by Homeland Security. That's a very big deal. They deal with sex trafficking, money laundering, cyber crimes, and a whole other issues that have to deal with protecting the United States. So he was let go today as well. What else is going on? Oh yes, let's go back to Stormy Daniels. Stormy Daniels is going after Trump. She might be the only one that can actually do anything because she seems to have all the cards. Supposedly, Stormy, also known in her real name as Stephanie Clifford, she says she's willing to pay back the $130,000 that she signed for the non-disclosure agreement. She's willing to give that up if she can talk freely about her affair with Donald Trump. Now, of course, Trump and his team are vehemently denying the affair, but yet Trump's says who lawyer Michael Cohen says that he paid her. Why did he pay her if it wasn't for Donald Trump? There's a name of David Dennison on the paperwork, and there also seems to be a couple of issues with the non-disclosure agreement. One, arbitration, as well as I believe the writing of the non-disclosure agreement was done in California. Now, what's interesting about that is Michael Dean Cohen is not registered as a attorney to practice law in California. He's able to practice law in New York. That's where he passed his state bar. But in California, he's not registered to practice law. What that means is you cannot work as a lawyer on your client's behalf by yourself if you haven't passed the bar in that particular state that you're working in. If he has another attorney working on his behalf and they're like co-counsel, or that other person is taking the lead, that's a different story. But as we are finding out is that Michael Cohen is not supposed to be doing law in California as a regular lawyer. Besides that, Stormy Daniels and her attorney, Michael McEntee, if I'm saying his name right, are talking about pictures, videotapes, social media, emails. So there might be an actual sex tape, which brings us back to the Michael Steele dossier. In the Michael Steele dossier, they talk about all kinds of nefarious things like PP and all this other stuff, and it seems like at least one person has video and pictures of Donald Trump. As you can tell, it is blowing very hard out here. There's a person snow blowing down the street. So like I said, there's so much stuff going on right now in the news, it's hard to keep up with. The other thing is there's a big race, political race going on in Pennsylvania. Rick Saccone, who's the Republican candidate who Trump went out and did his rally for, is saying things like the people that are voting for his opponent, Connor Lamb, hate America, hate God, hate Trump. I mean, come on, really? This is the kind of people that the GOP are pushing in Pennsylvania, and, you know, Donald Trump is supporting. It is beyond Republican and Democrat. We should be working on keeping our rights, our democracy strong and solid, and people having the right to believe in what they want to believe without someone saying they're un-American if they don't vote for Mr. Saccone. So it's going to be a very interesting race to see if Connor Lamb, a former Marine, can win that election, and it will make a resounding noise in regards to Donald Trump, who's been yelling about Maxine Waters, saying disparaging things about her, as well as Chuck Todd, who's an NBC, I believe, correspondent. So anyway, this is Kattalestv. These are the top stories as my hands freeze in the Northeast. Thanks for watching, and you can catch me on Twitter at Kattalestv. You can see my merchandise at Redbubble, Kattalestv. I'm on Instagram at Kattalestv and other places. All right. So thanks for watching. You guys have a great day. Stay warm wherever you are. Bye-bye.